its way across the floor. The coffee's on, the world can wait. I've earned the right to nothing more. I pour a cup and take my chair, the one beside the window frame. The street below moves soft and slow, and Sunday has no one to blame. There's a kind of rich that has no price. 돈으로 살 수 없는 풍요가 있어. A morning with no place to go, just warmth inside the cup and all the time you'll ever need to know. 일요일 아침 coffee, steam rising, nothing due. The whole wide world's still sleeping. In this moment, only you. Sunday morning coffee, 이 시간이 나의 것이야. No yesterday, no plan ahead, just the cup, the light, the quiet, and the life inside your head. A sparrow lands outside the glass, then gone before I catch its name. The coffee cools, I don't refill. Some things are sweeter in their wane. I think of all the mornings rushed, the ones I spent with somewhere else. This one I give entirely to no one and nothing but myself. There's a kind of peace that doesn't shout, 소리치지 않는 평화가 있어. It settles in the ordinary things, a cup, a chair, a window ledge, and everything the quiet Sunday brings. 일요일 아침 coffee, steam rising, nothing due. The whole wide world's still sleeping, and this moment only you. Sunday morning coffee, 이 시간이 나의 것이야. No yesterday, no plan ahead, just the cup, the light, the quiet, and the life inside your head. 서두르지 않아도 돼. The cup will keep its warmth a while. The sun is in no hurry either, and neither for once am I. 일요일 아침 coffee, the sparrow came back to the sill. 이 시간이 나의 것이야. The coffee's cold, but I don't mind. Some mornings teach you to be still. 서두르지 않아도 돼. This is enough. This is more than enough. 아침 coffee, 아침 coffee. I made 2 cups this morning, the way I always do. One for me beside the window, one on your side waiting for you. The coffee cools at different rates, mine faster near the glass. Yours sits still and holds its warmth, the way the best things always last. It's a small thing, 2 cups, but small things hold the most. 작은 것들이 가장 많이 담아. The whole weight of a life together lives inside the morning toast. 식탁 위 2 개의 cup, one story told in steam. Everything we built together, smaller than it seems. 2 cups on the table, 이것이 우리야. All the mornings we have shared in the ordinary language of someone who was there. Some days you're still sleeping, and I drink mine alone. But I still make 2 cups, because this table is our home. And I'll on the days you're early. We sit without a word, the cups between us saying everything that doesn't need to be heard. It's a small thing, 2 cups, but I have learned to see 이제는 알아 that love is not the grand gestures, it's the cup you make for me. 식탁 위 2개의 cup, one story told in steam. Everything we built together, smaller than it seems. 2 cups on the table, 이것이 우리야. All the mornings we have shared in the ordinary language of someone who was there. If I ever lose this morning, if the table's only one, 그래도 2 잔을 끓일 거야. I will still make 2 cups for whoever we have been and whoever is yet to come. 식탁 위 2개의 cup, you're still warm beside mine. 이것이 우리야. The simplest proof that we are real, that we were here, that we were fine. 고마워 for every ordinary morning you made extraordinary just by being mine. 고마워, 고마워. I don't know where it came from, this melody in my chest. It wasn't there when I was sleeping, but waking brought it with the rest. Just a few notes, nothing fancy, a tune without a name. But something in the morning made it feel like I'm the one who wrote the same. Maybe every day begins this way. 어쩌면 모든 날이 이렇게 시작돼. With something small and bright, a song before the thinking starts, a melody before the light. 하루의 첫 노래, before the world has asked me anything. Before the list, before the worry, before I know what day will bring. The first song of the day, 그냥 흘러나오는 거야. Nobody taught it, nothing planned. It rises like the morning does, and I just let it fill the lamp. I hum it while the kettle boils, I hum it in the shower stream. I catch it in the strangest places, half remembered from a dream. And then it's gone by afternoon, replaced by everything that comes before that hour in the morning. It was mine and I was home. Maybe this is what it means to live. 어쩌면 이게 산다는 것의 의미야. To wake and have a song arrive before the world reminds you of the work it takes to stay alive. 하루의 첫 노래, before the world has asked me anything. Before the list, before the worry, before I know what day will bring. The first song of the day, 그냥 흘러나오는 거야. Nobody taught it, nothing planned. It rises like the morning does, and I just let it fill the land. 흥얼거려도 돼, nobody's listening but you. 그냥 노래해, the morning only asks that you begin. 하루의 첫 노래, still humming, still
I always ask for the window seat wherever I happen to land. The table by the glass, the view, the light across my hand. It's not that I'm avoiding people, it's that I need the sky in sight. Something about the world outside makes everything inside feel right. There's a distance I keep, 내가 지키는 거리가 있어. Not cold, not far, just enough to see the whole thing clearly. Just enough to know what the moments are. 창가 자리, where I belong between two worlds. The warmth inside the coffee cup, the cold against the glass that swirls. Window seat, 내 자리야, where I can watch the world go by and feel completely part of it without the need to ask it why. A couple shares a phone outside, pointing at something I can't see. A child presses her face to glass of the shop across from me. The light keeps changing every minute, morning amber, midday white. And I've been here through all of them, sipping slow, watching right. There's a life that happens at the edges, 가장자리에서 일어나는 삶이 있어. Not at the center of the room. The window seat has always taught me more than any book I've read by noon. 창가 자리, where I belong between two worlds. The warmth inside the coffee cup, the cold against the glass that swirls. Window seat, 내 자리야, where I can watch the world go by and feel completely part of it without the need to ask it why. 여기가 좋아, between the inside and the out, where I'm warm enough to stay and free enough to go. 창가 자리, the light has moved across the floor. 내 자리야, 3 cups in and still not done. The world outside keeps giving more. 여기가 좋아, I'll stay until the sun is gone. And maybe 1 cup more. 창가 자리, 창가 자리.
The street lamps are still on, but the dark has lost its edge. The bakery on the corner sends its first smoke to the ledge. No one else is walking, no one else has found this yet. The city in its sleeping is the finest thing I've met. There's a version of this world, 이 세상에 한 버전이 있어, that exists between the dark and day. When everything is possible and nothing's been required of you yet today. 도시가 깨어나기 전 the streets belong to no one. The pigeons on the square, the light is almost golden before the city wakes. 이 순간만큼은 the world is briefly
first bus passes empty, its windows gold and bright. A baker wheels his trolley, disappears into the light. A cat crosses slowly, not hurrying for anything. In the hours before the city, every creature does its own quiet thing.
There's a grace in being early. 일찍 일어나는 것에 품위가 있어. A gift the morning gives to those who come before the world remembers what it needs and where it's going from. 도시가 깨어나기 전 the streets belong to no one. The pigeons on the square, the light is almost golden before the city wakes. 이 순간만큼은 the world is briefly, quietly mine. I breathe it in completely before it fills with noise and signs. 아무도 모르는 이 시간, the city doesn't know I am watching. 깨어나기 전에 도시, honest in a way it never is by noon. 도시가 깨어나기 전 the first door opens somewhere. 이 순간만큼은 a light goes on above the street. 아무도 모르는 이 시간, the city stirs, begins to breathe, and I was here before it was complete. My hands were cold this morning, the way they get in the gray. You didn't say a word about it, just made a cup and brought it my way. I wrapped both hands around it slowly, felt the warmth begin to climb. Something in that simple gesture stopped the cold and stopped the time. There are languages beyond the spoken. 말 너머의 언어들이 있어. Things that hands and cups can say. The warmth that passes between two people needs no word to find its way. 따뜻한 손, 따뜻한 잔. This is how you say you care. Not in speeches, not in flowers, just the warmth you place right there. Warm hands, warm cup. 이것이 사랑의 언어야. The oldest, quietest kind of love that asks for nothing, offers everything, and fits inside two cup palms like enough. I've received 1,000 kindnesses in 1,000 different forms, but the ones that reach the deepest are the ordinary, quiet ones. The cup left on my desk at noon, the blanket placed across my feet, the hand that finds mine in the dark and holds without a need to speak. There are people in this world who know 아는 사람들이 있어. That love lives lives in the temperature of things, in the warmth of what is given, in the small and daily offerings. 따뜻한 손, 따뜻한 잔. This is how you say you care. Not in speeches, not in flowers, just the warmth you place right there. Warm hands, warm cup. 이것이 사랑의 언어야. The oldest, quietest kind of love that asks for nothing, offers everything, and fits inside 2 cup palms like enough. 고마워 for knowing without asking. 말하지 않아도 알아줘서 that sometimes warmth is all a person needs. 따뜻한 손, 따뜻한 잔. The cup is empty now, but I'm not cold. 이것이 사랑의 언어야. The warmth stayed longer than the drink and longer than the morning. 고마워 for the language only you and I know, the one that lives between our hands. 고마워, 정말 고마워.
The espresso machine is singing, and the morning's in full swing. Somebody's got a double order, somebody's forgetting everything. The barista knows my name now, she's already pulling my shot. 7 in the morning and the city is giving everything it's got. There are people who dread the morning. 아침을 두려워하는 사람들이 있어. But I was made for this exact hour. Something in the 7 o'clock gives me back my power. 아침 7시, the world is open for business, and I am here and ready, cup in hand, nothing to miss. 7 in the morning, 내가 제일 좋아하는 시간이야. The day is young and so am I. Pull the shot, tip the cup, and let the morning multiply. A businessman in a hurry leaves his change without a care. A student with tomorrow's deadline stares into the middle of the air. And I just watch it all with coffee, feeling something like delight, that all these different lives and mornings all converge beneath this light. There are mornings made for rushing, 서두르기 위한 아침들이 있어. But this one I take my time. 7 o'clock has its own religion, and its only rule is mine. 아침 7시, the world is open for business, and I am here and ready, cup in hand, nothing to miss. 7 in the morning, 내가 제일 좋아하는 시간이야. The day is young and so am I. Pull the shot, tip the cup, and let the morning multiply. Oh, 하루가 시작돼, and everything is possible. 아직 아무것도 틀리지 않았어. The morning holds all 7 wonders in one small espresso cup. 아침 7시, the cup is done, the day begins. 내가 제일 좋아하는 시간이야. I leave the cafe richer than I entered, wearing morning on my skin. 하루가 시작돼 and I am ready. I am always, always ready to begin, to begin, to begin.
The phone is face down on the table. The notifications can wait. The coffee's brewing for the third time because I got up somewhere around 8. The sun is doing what it pleases, moving slow across my floor. And I am doing what it's teaching, which is nothing and a little more. There is a luxury that costs you nothing. 아무것도 들지 않는 사치가 있어. It only asks that you agree to do less than you think you should, and let the Saturday just be. 천천히 토요일이잖아. No one needs you to be fast. The week was long and asked too much, and Saturday said it could last. Slow down, it's Saturday. 오늘은 이래도 돼. The world will not collapse today without your productivity, so put the hurry away. I made a list and then I lost it. Found it didn't matter much. But birds outside have no agenda, and I'm taking their approach as such. Maybe I'll read a page or 20. Maybe I'll watch the clouds instead. The greatest thing I'll do today is stay a little longer in my head. There is a version of yourself on Saturday. 토요일에 또 다른 당신이 있어 that the rest of the week forgets. Softer and a little younger, with no outstanding debts. 천천히 토요일이잖아. No one needs you to be fast. The week was long and asked too much, and Saturday said it could last. Slow down, it's Saturday. 오늘은 이래도 돼. The world will not collapse today without your productivity, so put the hurry away. 서두르지 마. The coffee's getting cold again. 그래도 괜찮아. That's exactly as it should be today. 천천히 토요일이잖아. The sun moved but I didn't. 오늘은 이래도 돼. The afternoon arrived while I was resting, and I let it have its way. 서두르지 마. There will be other Mondays, but there is only this on Saturday. On Saturday. Saturday. Something woke me before the alarm, a smell that found me in my sleep. Golden brown and warm and certain, the kind of thing that memory keeps. The toaster clicked, the morning settled into its familiar shape, and suddenly I was 6 years old, standing at my mother's gate. Some smells carry whole lifetimes. 어떤 냄새는 삶 전체를 담아. Wrapped inside one single breath. Toast in the morning is a homecoming. Older than the youngest and older than the rest. Toast 냄새, older than I can explain. It calls me back to every kitchen, every morning, every name. The smell of toast, 집에 냄새야. Whoever made it, wherever I've been. The simplest proof that someone loves me, and that morning has begun again. My first apartment, just one room. I made toast to fill the quiet. Butter on the bread at 7. A small defiance, small and bright. And now I make it here most mornings for whoever's at the table still. There's something in the passing of it, hand to hand, that words never will. Some things need no reinventing. 다시 발명할 필요 없는 것들이 있어. They arrive already whole. A piece of toast at 7 in the morning is the simplest liturgy of the soul. Toast 냄새, older than I can explain. It calls me back to every kitchen, every morning, every name. The smell of toast, 집에 냄새야. Whoever made it, wherever I've been. The simplest proof that someone loves me, and that morning has begun again. 이 냄새가 좋아. It means someone was here. 누군가 여기 있었다는 증거야. Means the morning came again, and we are still inside it. Toast 냄새. My mother's kitchen, my first room. 집에 냄새야. Every table I have ever sat at, every person I have loved by noon. 이 냄새가 좋아. The simplest thing, the truest thing, the thing that always means I'm home. I'm home. I didn't change the world this morning. I didn't write a single line. I sat beside the window slowly and watched the ordinary shine. The cup is empty, the light is moving. The day will come and do its thing. But for this hour before it starts, I gave myself everything. There is a word I keep forgetting. 자꾸 잊어버리는 말이 있어. And then the morning gives it back enough. The quietest of all conclusions, the one that nothing seems to lack. 오늘은 이것으로 충분해. This cup, this light, this quiet here. No mountain moved, no miracle, just morning soft and clear enough for today. 그것으로 충분해. Not everything needs to be more. The life that's lived in ordinary hours is worth exactly what it's for. Used to wake already running toward a version yet to come, measuring my mornings by their output, counting everything I'd done. But something in the cup of coffee, something in the slow return light across a simple table taught me what it took a life to learn. That enough is not a consolation. 충분함은 위로가 아니야. It's not the thing you say when less. It is the highest form of having, the one that doesn't need the rest. 오늘은 이것으로 충분해. This cup, this light, this quiet here. No mountain move, no miracle, just morning soft and clear. Enough for today. 그것으로 충분해. Not everything needs to be more. The life that's lived in ordinary hours is worth exactly what it's for. 충분해. Say it like you mean it. 충분해. 정말로 충분해. Not as giving up, but as arriving. 오늘은 이것으로 충분해. The cup, the light, the ordinary. 그것으로 충분해. The morning that required nothing and gave everything instead. 충분해. I say it now and mean it. I say it now and mean it with my whole wide open morning heart. 충분해. 충분해. 책장을 넘겨 one page then another. The world outside can wait its turn. 이 안에 있어 deep inside the words where nothing else exists or stirs. 시간이 멈춰. The clock forgot itself. The tea went cold upon the shelf. 이 안에 있어 deep inside the words where nothing else exists or stirs. 한 장만 더. Just one more page, then one more after, then the whole world. 책장 넘기는 소리. The only sound that matters now. 이 안에 있어. Turn the page and disappear into the beautiful quiet of knowing. the silence, and the silence makes a space for everyone who carries something and has found this quiet place. The shelves hold more than just the pages, they hold the years it took to write. Every book a life concluded, offered up to give yours light. We don't speak here, but we're speaking. 말하지 않지만 말하고 있어. In the language of the bent down head, of the pencil on the notebook, and the hours we have fed. 도서관의 시간, where everyone is building something no one else can see. A future held in silence, a self becoming quietly. Library hours, 이 시간이 나를 만들어. The most productive kind of still, where nothing seems to happen and everything begins to will. The student at the corner table has been here since before I came. The old man reads the same page twice, but the reading is not the same. Each of us a private universe, orbiting our own small sun. And yet together in this building, all of us have just begun. We don't know each other's stories, 서로의 이야기를 몰라. But we share the same direction, forward, always forward. Through the hours of collection. 도서관의 시간, where everyone is building something no one else can see. A future held in silence, a self becoming quietly. Library hours, 이 시간이 나를 만들어. The most productive kind of still, where nothing seems to happen and everything begins to will. 여기서 자라고 있어. In the silence, in the hours, 아무도 모르는 사이에 becoming who I need to be. One page at a time. 도서관의 시간. The lights will close at 9. 이 시간이 나를 만들어. But what was built inside these hours cannot be closed, cannot decline. 여기서 자라고 있어. I live a little larger than the person who walked in, carrying my future. Like a book I've just begun. I've just begun. I've just begun.
The pen moves slower than I think, and faster than I know. Something lives between the two, in the space where meanings grow. I don't always know what I believe until I write it out by hand. The ink reveals the thought beneath, the thought I didn't understand. There is a wisdom in the wrist, 손목 안에 지혜가 있어, that the keyboard cannot hold. The way the letters lean and breathe is where the truest thing songs are told. 잉크와 생각, two rivers meeting on the page. One from the mind, one from the hand, together writing what the other cannot say alone, cannot stand. Ink and thought 하나가 돼, the oldest conversation known, between the self who holds the pen and the self who thought it all alone. I've typed 1,000 documents, efficient and precise, but the ones I wrote by candlelight are the ones I've read twice. There's a weight the pen remembers, a pressure that reveals how much the writer meant the sentence and how much the sentence heals. There is a permanence in ink, 잉크 안에 영속성이 있어, that the cursor cannot keep. What is written by hand at midnight is what the morning gets to keep. 잉크와 생각, two rivers meeting on the page. One from the mind, one from the hand, together writing what the other cannot say alone, cannot stand. Ink and thought 하나가 돼, the oldest conversation known, between the self who holds the pen and the self who thought it all alone. 써봐, whatever you can't say out loud, 그냥 써봐. The page will hold it, the ink will make it real. 잉크와 생각, the pen slows at the final line, 하나가 돼. And what was only felt this morning is now written, now is mine. 써봐, the ink dries slowly, and the thought that could not speak before now lives permanently on the page.
It's already past midnight and the lamp is burning low. I told myself at 10 o'clock that it was time to go, but the chapter ended on a cliff and another began right there, and one more seemed like nothing much, so I pulled up my chair. There's a gravity that books have, 책에는 중력이 있어, that no alarm clock can defeat. The story pulls me forward and the night becomes complete. 한 장만 더, I've been saying that for hours. The clock has moved but I have not. The lamp still has its powers. One more chapter, 멈출 수가 없어. One more page, one more line. The story hasn't finished with me, and I haven't finished mine. The protagonist is almost there, and I can't leave them now. attention, and the night allows my coffee went cold at 11. The blanket found my feet, and I am unreachable to morning until this story is complete. There's a love affair with fiction, 소설과의 사랑이야, that the real world can provide another life entirely, that I get to live inside. 한 장만 더, I've been saying that for hours. The clock has moved but I have not. The lamp still has its powers. One more chapter, 멈출 수가 없어. One more page, one more line. The story hasn't finished with me, and I haven't finished mine. 조금만 더, just until the morning finds me. 다 읽을 때까지, with the last page in my hand, and everything resolved. 한 장만 더, the final page is turning now. 멈출 수가 없어. The lamp flickers, the night releases. I made it, I don't know how. 다 읽었어. The book closes in the quiet, and I sit a moment more inside the world I just lived through, before I find the door. 한 장만 더, 한 장만 더. 한 장만 더.
I cleared the day for reading, no appointments, nothing due, just the book I've been postponing, and the afternoon to move through. I started in the early light, and now the shadows have grown long. The world outside my window continued carrying on. There is a discipline in slowness, 느림에도 훈련이 있어, that the age of speed forgot. The long read is a practice as much as any athlete's got. 긴 독서, a whole day given to a book, the rarest luxury remaining, just a chair, a page, a look. The long read, 이것이 나의 하루야. From morning coffee to the lamp, the whole arc of a life considered, in the quiet, in the damp. I paused at 3 to make some food, and stood beside the stove a while, thinking of a line I'd read that made me stop and almost smile. Then back into the story's arms, the afternoon resumed its pull, and by the time the page ran out, my head was quiet and full. There is a nourishment in reading, 읽는 것에 영양이 있어, that no other meal can bring. The long read feeds a part of me that nothing else is offering. 긴 독서, a whole day given to a book, the rarest luxury remaining, just a chair, a page, a look. The long read, 이것이 나의 하루야. from morning coffee to the lamp. The whole arc of a life considered, in the quiet, in the damp. 오늘 하루 잘 썼어. Not a thing was wasted. 책과 함께한 하루. The world moved on without me, and I moved through worlds I cannot know. 김독서. The lamp is on, the book is done. 이것이 나의 하루야. I close the cover and sit in it. The story and the setting sun. 오늘 하루 잘 썼어. Tomorrow there are other books and other whole days waiting, but this one was exactly everything.
O'clock and still the air is warm. 열신데 아직도 공기가 따뜻해. The pavement holds the heat from earlier. I left without a plan or a destination, just the night and the neighborhood and me. The corner store is lit up yellow. A moth is doing circles in the glow. Somewhere someone's laughing through a window, and the city sounds like it's breathing slow. There's a version of myself I only meet. 밤에 멈만 나는 나의 버전이 있어. In the summer when the hour gets late, she walks a little slower, holds her head up, opens every door without the wait. 한여름밤 산책, nowhere to be and no one waiting. The heat's still rising from the ground, and every step a small creating. Midsummer night walk, 이 밤이 나의 것이야. The whole long block belongs to me. The street lights and the sleeping neighbors, and this perfect, ordinary free. A cat considers me from someone's gate, decides I'm not worth more than a glance. The vending machine hums on the corner like it's keeping time for its own dance. I stop to hear the cicadas calling. They've been at this since before I was born. And summer nights have always been this patient, this warm, this ancient, this perfectly worn. There's a language that the summer speaks. 여름이 말하는 언어가 있어. Only heard when you go out alone, when the day has given up its grip on you, and the night says you can find your own. 한여름밤 산책, nowhere to be and no one waiting. The heat's still rising from the ground, and every step a small creating. Midsummer night walk, 이 밤이 나의 것이야. The whole long block belongs to me. The street lights and the sleeping neighbors, and this perfect, ordinary free. 매미 소리가 들려. They have been singing this forever. 여름은 늘 여기 있었어, and so have I. In every version of this night, of this street, of this 한여름밤 산책. I'll walk until the heat gives way. 이 밤이 나의 것이야. Until the air turns thin and cooler, and the first birds start to say. 매미 소리가 들려. That summer's day, as long as I needed it to. And now I can go home.
calendar says tomorrow is July. 내일은 10월이래. But today the light is still the June kind. Longer than it has a right to be, and soft enough to change your mind. I spent this month in ways I won't remember, and in ways I never will forget. The ordinary and the unrepeatable, all tangled up, not finished yet. There's something about the last day, 마지막 날엔 뭔가 있어, that makes the ordinary luminous. The last walk down this particular June feels different from the rest of us. Sequoia 마지막 날, everything's still green and white before the full heat comes to claim it. Before July steps inside the last day of June, 아직 여기 있어, still standing in the longest light. Something ending, something opening, and everything tonight feels right. I walk the same street I always walk, and it looked different in the late June gold. The faces of the people passing seemed to know what wasn't being told, that this particular configuration of this light, this street, this version of us will never quite assemble this way again, and it deserves a moment of our fuss. There's something about the last day, 마지막 날엔 뭔가 있어. It asks you to pay attention, to hold the whole month in your hands before the calendar makes the transition. Sequoia 마지막 날, everything's still green and white before the full heat comes to claim it. Before July steps inside the last day of June, 아직 여기 있어, still standing in the longest light. Something ending, something opening, and everything tonight feels right. Chart is so secure, you were exactly what I needed. 고마웠어 for the light you gave at the beginning, and the light you gave at the end. Sequoia 마지막 날, the light is going, going, going. 아직 여기 있어, I'm staying until the very last, until the last of June is told. 잘 있어, Sequoia, see you in a year. Same light, same stream, same me, only newer. 잘 있어, Sequoia.
It's been raining since the start of July. 세월 초부터 비가 왔어, the kind that doesn't ask permission. The streets are mirrors now, the trees are dark, and the world has entered a new condition. I stopped checking if it were clear today. 오늘 곁이 확인하는 걸 그만뒀어. The forecast gave up trying to be right. There's a freedom in accepting what is given, so I opened up the window to the night. The monsoon doesn't apologize. 장마는 사과하지 않아. It arrives the way all true things do, completely and without a second notice. And you either fight it or move through. 장마철, the season that will not be rushed. Everything is heavy, everything is fed. The roots go deeper in the crush. Monsoon monsoon season 이비도 지나갈 거야. But not before it gives what it came for. Not before the green has drunk its fill. Not before we've learned what rain is for. The smell of wet earth through the window. 창문으로 젖은 흙냄새가 들어와. It's the oldest smell I've ever known. Something in me recognizes it as the smell of not being alone. The frogs have been louder since Tuesday. They approve of what the sky has done. And somewhere under all this water, new things are learning how to come undone. The monsoon doesn't know a sunshine. 장마는 우리에게 햇빛을 비치지 않았어. It has its own agenda, it's undead. It feeds the things that need the darkness, the roots, the rivers, and the wet. 장마철, the season that will not be rushed. Everything is heavy, everything is fed. The roots go deeper in the crush. Monsoon season 이비도 지나갈 거야. But not before it gives what it came for. Not before the green has drunk its fill. Not before we've learned what rain is for. 받아들여 the rain that will not stop. 이 계절도 이유가 있어. Everything that soaks you through is making something grow. 장마철, still raining, still feeding. 이 비도 지나갈 거야. And when the sun returns, we'll see what the monsoon made of us. 더 깊이 뿌리 내렸어. Deeper than before, richer than before. Ready for what comes next. 장마철. 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 The green is at its greenest now. 초록이 가장 초록인 지금. Every leaf decided and complete. The light comes through in moving pieces, and the shade is cool beneath my feet. I've been sitting here an hour already, watching nothing, watching everything. The spider on the garden wall is busy. The sparrow doesn't care what I'm considering. There is a fullness to this season. 이 계절에는 충만함이 있어. A completion that the others never reach. When every growing thing is grown, and summer hands you what it meant to teach. 초록의 시간, the hour when the world is most itself. Every color at its deepest, every life upon its shelf. Green hour, 지금이 최고야. The peak before the turning comes, the fullest breath before the exhale. Summer at the height of all its suns. A child runs through the sprinkler laughing. 아이가 스프링클러를 뛰어다니며 웃어. Getting soaked and not caring at all. This is what the green hour asks of us, to be that unguarded before the fall. The plums are almost ready on the branch. The grass needs cutting, no one's moved. And everything that needed to happen this summer has happened or has been approved. There is a gratitude in this season. 이 계절에는 감사가 있어. For everything that made it here, every seed that found its soil. summer that became a year. 초록의 시간, the hour when the world is most itself. Every color at its deepest, every life upon its shelf. Green hour, 지금이 최고야. The peak before the turning comes, the fullest breath before the exhale. Summer at the height of all its suns. 이 순간을 기억해. When everything was green, 가장 충만했던 여름, and life was at the very top of everything it meant to me. 초록의 시간, the light is moving through the leaves. 지금이 최고야. And I'm sitting in the middle of the most alive the summer's been. 이 순간을 기억해. Before the green begins to turn, before the first cool morning. Let me sit here one more green hour in the best of summer's burning. Green hour, green hour, green hour, green hour, green hour.
I don't know when it happened, 언제 왔는지 몰랐어. I was walking thinking other things, but when I looked down at my shoes, there was a leaf, the color of the evening. Rust and gold and something darker, curled at the edges, still intact. It must have fallen without a sound and chosen me, and that was that. The best arrivals ask no permission. 가장 좋은 것들은 허락을 구하지 않아. They find you in the middle of your life. A leaf, a word, a person at a doorway. A moment with no edge, no end, no knife. 신발 위에 낙엽, I didn't ask for this, but something in the autumn knew exactly what I'd miss. Fallen leaves on my shoes, 그냥 거기 있었어. Saying nothing, asking nothing, just the season touching me as seasons do. I kept it in my pocket for the day. 하루 종일 주머니에 넣고 다녔어. Kept reaching in to feel the dry, the thin and papery certainty of something that had lived and wasn't afraid to die. By evening it had crumbled at the edges, but the color held, the shape remained. And I thought about the things that give themselves completely without needing to be named. The best things come without announcement. 가장 좋은 것들은 예고 없이 와. A leaf on a shoe on an ordinary street. The whole of autumn in a single fragment. Everything I needed at my feet. 신발 위에 낙엽, I didn't ask for this, but something in the autumn knew exactly what I'd miss. Fallen leaves on my shoes, 그냥 거기 있었어. Saying nothing, asking nothing, just the season touching me as seasons do. 아무 말 없이 왔어. The way the best things always come. 그냥 거기 있었어. No announcement, no apology, just autumn, just this. 신발 위에 낙엽, by nightfall it was gone. Crumbled back to where it came from. mine and I was autumn's. 아무 말 없이 왔어. And that was more than enough to carry me through.
I stepped outside and had to stop. 밖에 나갔다가 멈춰야 했어. The sky was doing something I'd forgotten. That particular shade of October blue that can't be named but can't be lost or rotten. Higher than it is in any other month, and cleaner than the summer ever was. Something about the angle of the light and everything the season does, because there are skies and then there is October. 하늘들이 있고 그 다음에 10월이 있어. Category that stands entirely alone. The blue that makes you understand your smallness and somehow makes you feel entirely home. 10월의 하늘, you can't look long without becoming part of something wider than your whole life, something deeper than your whole heart. October sky, 이 파란색은 달라. The kind of blue that asks no explanation. Just lift your face and let it fill you past saturation. A hawk is drawing circles somewhere far. 매 한 마리가 저 멀리 원을 그리고 있어. A thread of smoke from someone's chimney first. The trees have not yet given up their color, but you can feel them ready for the worst. And still the sky says nothing about endings. It just continues being what it is. The highest, cleanest, most indifferent witness to everything that ever was or is. There are problems and then there is October. 문제들이 있고 그 다음에 10월이 있어. The sky that makes the problems take their place. Not gone, not solved, but properly proportioned beneath this much blue. This much space. You can't look long without becoming part of something wider than your whole life, something deeper than your whole heart. October sky, 이 파란색은 달라. The kind of blue that asks no explanation. Just lift your face and let it fill you past saturation. for yet, but October always gives it back to me. October sky, October sky, October sky. 2, 3. I knew it before I opened the window. 창문을 열기 전에 알았어. Something in the light had changed its mind. Yesterday was still the warm side, but today left all of that behind. I pulled the jacket from the closet, the one that smelled of last October's walks, and the cold came in to greet me, the way October always talks. There's a kind of joy that lives in cold beginnings. 차가운 시작에 사는 기쁨이 있어. The joy of something new arriving at the door. The first cold day is not an ending, it's the thing I've been waiting for. 첫 주위, the season made it official. The coat came off the hook, and everything looked different, the way things do when you stop to look. The first cold day, 드디어 왔어, and I am ready and I'm glad. The warmest things are warmer now, and nothing lost is sad. The coffee tasted different, deeper, somehow more itself. The leaves outside were burning ember, taking everything down from the shelf. A scarf appeared around a neck, across the street, then two, then more. And the city found its autumn posture, the one it saves for when the cold comes for. There's a kind of truth in cold beginnings. 차가운 시작에 진실이 있어. The world becomes more honest in the cold. The colors brighter, edges sharper, everything that matters getting bold. 첫 주위, the season made it official. The coat came off the hook, and everything looked different, the way things do when you stop to look. The first cold day, 드디어 왔어, and I am ready and I'm glad. The warmest things are warmer now, and nothing lost is sad. 차가워졌어, finally beautifully cold. 드디어 가을이야, and everything I've been is warmer for it. 첫 주위, the best kind of cold. 드디어 왔어, the kind that makes the coffee real, the cold familiar, the season whole. 드디어 가을이야, button up, breathe in. The cold is finally here. 가을이야. Some places hold the ones who love them. 어떤 곳들은 사랑했던 이들을 품어. Long after those same people have been gone. The Persimmon Street. 여기 오면 알아 who I was before I became. This the kind that Persimmon Street. I knew it before I opened the window. 창문을 열기 전에 알았어. it changed its mind. Yesterday was still the warm side, but today left all of that behind. I pulled the jacket from the closet, the one that smelled of last October's walks. And the cold came in to greet me, the way October always talks. There's a kind of joy that lives in cold beginnings. 차가운 시작에 사는 기쁨이 있어. The joy of something new arriving at the door. The first cold day is not an ending, it's the thing I've been waiting for. 차추위, the season made it official. The coat came off the hook and everything looked different, the way things do when you stop to look. The first cold day, 드디어 왔어, and I am ready and I'm glad. The warmest things are warmer now, and nothing lost is sad. The coffee tasted different, deeper, somehow more itself. The leaves outside were burning amber, taking everything down from the shelf. A scarf appeared around her neck, across the street, then two, then more, and the city found its autumn posture, the one it saves for when the cold comes for. There's a kind of truth in cold beginnings. 차가운 시작에 진실이 있어. The world becomes more honest in the cold. The colors brighter, edges sharper, everything that matters getting bold. 차추위, the season made it official. The coat came off the hook and everything looked different, the way things do when you stop to look. The first cold day, 드디어 왔어, and I am ready and I'm glad. The warmest things are warmer now, and nothing lost is sad. 차가워졌어, finally beautifully cold. 드디어 가을이야, and everything I've been is warmer for it. 차추위, the best kind of cold. 드디어 왔어, the kind that makes the coffee real, the cold familiar, the season whole. 드디어 가을이야, button up, breathe in, the cold is finally here. 가을이야. The glass has fogged a little at the edge. 유리 가장자리가 살짝 흐려졌어. Where my breath has been and gone again. The world outside is doing its January thing, stripped to nothing, honest in the plain. No leaves to soften what the trees are, no blossom to distract from what remains. Just the bones of everything I know, laid out quietly in the winter rains. There is a truth that only January shows you. 이 놀만이 보여주는 진실이 있어. When the decorations all come down, when the year is new but nothing has yet happened, and the world is just the world without its gown. 이 노래 창문, the cold is kind of clear, where everything outside is what it is, and everything in here. January window이 고요함이 좋아, the most honest just glass and cold and slow. I've been watching the same bare tree for weeks. 몇 주째 같은 헐벗은 나무를 보고 있어. The way it stands without apology. Unbothered by the cold, unbothered by the watching. Just entirely, unhurriedly free. And I've thought about the things I carry, the ones I can't set down however long. Maybe winter strips them back to structure, so I can see which branches still are strong. There is a rest that only January offers. 이 놀만이 주는 쉼이 있어. The permission to not yet begin, to sit inside the cold clear window light and let the new year slowly filter in. 이 노래 창문, the coldest kind of clear, where everything outside is what it is, and everything in here. January window, 이 고요함이 좋아. The most honest view I know. The world with all its warnings stripped away. Just glass and cold and slow. 아직 시작하지 않아도 돼. The year is wide and waiting. 창문 앞에 있어도 괜찮아. January gives permission to stand still before you move. 이 노래 창문, my breath has fought the glass again. 이 고요함이 좋아. I write my name in it with one finger and watch it slowly disappear. 아직 시작하지 않아도 돼. The year will ask enough of me in time. For now, just this, just January, just the window and the cold, clear light. January window. The year's down to its last hours now. 한 해가 마지막 몇 시간으로 줄었어. And I have been sitting with it quietly, not counting what was lost or measuring the game, just holding what it meant to me.
There were mornings I won't find again, and evenings I would choose again and again. There were people and there were the spaces after, and everything between, the joy and pain.
I don't need it to have been perfect. 완벽할 필요 없었어. I only needed to have been mine.
A year that asked and gave and complicated, and somehow turned out to be fine.
한 해의 마지막 날, I lived it and it lived in me. The ordinary and the unbearable, the quiet and the things I couldn't see. The last day of the year, 고마워 이 한 해야. For every season
Somewhere tonight the celebrations are lifting voices toward the sky, and somewhere else a person sits in silence, not ready yet to say goodbye. And both of these are right and both are needed. The noise, the quiet, the held and the released. A year contains the full range of the human, from the grandest height down to the least. I don't need it to make sense entirely. 전부 이해될 필요 없어서. Some years you live and only later see what the hard parts were preparing you for, what the good parts set you free to be. 한 해의 마지막 날, I lived it and it lived in me. The ordinary and the unbearable, the quiet and the things I couldn't see. The last day of the year, 고마워 이 한 해야. For every season that you brought, for every lesson, every morning, and everything I wasn't taught. 살아있었어 every single day of it. 그것으로 충분해. Not every day was good, but every day I was here, and being here 여기 있었어 was everything. 한 해의 마지막 날, I lived it and it lived in me. The ordinary and the unbearable, the quiet and the things I couldn't see. The last day of the year, 고마워 이 한 해야. For every season that you brought, for every lesson, every morning, and everything I wasn't taught. The clock is moving toward the midnight,
고마워 이 한 해야.
and I'm standing in the last few seconds of everything this year has been.
살아있었어
Breathe in,
고마워.
breathe out,
새해가 와.
and let the new year
Find you
exactly,
as you are,
which is exactly
enough.
고마워.
Thank you. Thank you.